The room that appeared only at midnight. Every night at exactly midnight, a door appeared in his house. The problem was, that door didn't exist during the day. Welcome to Dark Chronicles. Tonight's story is about a man who discovered a room inside his own house. A room that shouldn't exist. A room that only appeared at midnight. And once he entered it, he realized something terrifying. That room was waiting for him. Rohan had been living alone for 6 months. A quiet apartment, no disturbances, no neighbors close enough to bother him. Everything was normal, until one night, at exactly 12 a.m., he heard a sound, a soft click, like a door unlocking. Rohan sat up in his bed, listening. The apartment was silent, too silent. Then, another sound, a slow creak, from the hallway. He got up, walked toward the door, and opened it. The hallway looked the same. Dim light, closed walls, nothing unusual, except, there was a door, at the end of the hallway. Rohan frowned. That wasn't there before. He was sure. He had lived here for months. There had never been a door there. He stepped closer, each step slow, careful. The door looked old, wooden, slightly open, and from inside, a faint light leaked out. Rohan whispered, "Hello." No answer. He reached the door, placed his hand on it, and pushed it open. The room inside was small. Too small, almost like a storage space. But it didn't look like one. The walls were covered in old wallpaper. Peeling, faded. The air felt heavy, cold, like it hadn't been touched in years. Rohan stepped inside, slowly. His footsteps echoed softly. The door behind him creaked, but didn't close. At the center of the room, there was a chair, old, wooden, facing the wall. "That's weird," he muttered. Why would a chair face the wall? He walked around it, and froze. Because the wall wasn't empty. It was covered with photographs. Dozens of them, all pinned randomly, all slightly torn, all familiar. Rohan leaned closer. His heart started racing, because every photo was of him. Different moments, different days, different angles. Some from outside his house, some from inside, some from places he didn't remember being in. Rohan stepped back. No, this isn't possible. And then, one of the photos moved. It didn't fall, it didn't shake, it moved, like something inside it shifted. Rohan stared at it, frozen, unable to breathe. The photo showed him, standing in his room, looking at the mirror, and then, the version of him in the photo, turned his head, and looked directly at Rohan. Rohan stumbled back. No, the lights flickered, once, twice, then steadied. The photo returned to normal. Still, lifeless. But Rohan knew what he saw. That thing had moved. He turned toward the door. "I'm leaving." But the door was gone. Rohan's heart dropped. The wall where the door had been was now solid. No handle, no opening, nothing. "This isn't real," he whispered. The room felt smaller now. Closer, like the walls were moving inward. And then, he heard it. A sound behind him. A soft creak. The chair had moved. It was no longer facing the wall. It was facing him, and sitting on it was someone. Rohan's breath stopped, because that someone looked exactly like him. Same face, same clothes, same expression, except its eyes were completely black, and it smiled. Rohan couldn't move. The thing sitting on the chair was him. Every detail, perfect, exact, but wrong. Its black eyes stared directly into his, unblinking, unnatural, watching. Rohan whispered, "What are you?" The thing didn't answer. It slowly stood up. The chair creaked beneath it, and as it moved, Rohan felt something strange. His body felt lighter, weaker, like something was being pulled out of him. The thing tilted its head, still smiling. "You finally came," it said. The voice was identical, his voice, but hollow, empty. Rohan stepped back. "No, I didn't come here for this." The thing took a step forward. "You always do." Rohan's mind raced. "What do you mean?" The thing pointed at the wall. At the photos. Rohan turned, and what he saw made his blood run cold. The photos were changing. New ones appeared, old ones disappeared, and now, every photo showed the same moment. Him, standing in the room, looking at that thing. This is happening now. Rohan whispered. The thing nodded slowly. Yes. Rohan shook his head. No. I've never been here before. The thing smiled wider. You just don't remember. The room suddenly felt colder. Darker. Heavier. Rohan looked around. The walls were shifting. Slowly closing in. Let me out, he shouted. The thing didn't move. Didn't react. You don't leave, it said calmly. Rohan's breathing became uneven. What happens then? A pause. Then, you stay. Rohan's heart pounded. For how long? The thing stepped closer. Now just inches away. Until you replace me. Rohan froze. What? The thing's smile disappeared. Its face went still. Then, it raised its hand, and pointed at him. Rohan suddenly felt it. A sharp pull. His body flickered. Just for a second. Then again. He looked at his hands. They were fading. No. No. The thing stepped back. Its body becoming more solid. More real. While Rohan became less. You understand now, it said. Rohan shook his head desperately. No. Stop this. But it was too late. The room shook violently. The walls cracking. The photos tearing. Reality breaking apart. Rohan fell to his knees. His body flickering rapidly. And then, he saw it. In one of the photos. The door. Still there. Still open. Rohan crawled toward it. Weak. Fading. Desperate. Please. He reached the photo. Touched it. And suddenly, his hand went through. The surface rippled. The door inside the photo was real. Rohan pushed forward. Falling through it. Final ending. Rohan crashed onto the floor. Back in his apartment. Breathing heavily. Alive. The hallway looked normal again. No extra door. No strange room. Nothing. He laughed weakly. It's over. But then, he noticed something. At the end of the hallway, there was a chair, facing the wall, and slowly, it began to turn. And that is why, some rooms should never be entered. Because sometimes, they don't appear by accident. They appear, when it's your turn to be replaced.